What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's gloomy, and that means the sun isn't blazing today. The weather is nice and chilly right now, and this is kind of like my mood. And we're going to be working on the K-Swap EK Coupe once again. If you guys haven't seen the last couple of videos, we've been boosting this car, and in the previous video before this one, we finally got it turned on, and it sounds good. Now we're just trying to button up this car before I go race at H-Day this weekend. This is the first time Honda Day is coming out to the West Coast, and we better show out, especially because a lot of East Coast cars are coming this way. It's going to be a great time. I hope you guys stick around for those videos to follow here, but I just want to put some more work into this car to really kind of get buttoned up, so when I come back from track, I can just take this thing straight to the dyno. So in today's video, which I forgot to do previously, is to weld the bungs on the valve cover so we can install the new max peeing rod catch can. So what I'm going to do right now actually is I'm going to pop the valve cover that's currently in the car because it has to come out anyways, and I'm just going to bung that one instead of my spare one. So let's go ahead and pop the hood and get cracking on the valve cover. And grab some 10 mils. So I made this guy a house, and I think he's gonna have to start paying rent here soon because that's a nice little one-story home. Got a nice little skylight window right there. Hey bud, you're gonna have to pay some rent here soon. Not too shabby, guys, not too shabby. This thing looks clean inside, and I don't know how many miles on this engine, but clean for the most part. Now you guys can see two lobes, K20A3 EP3, because if this was a RSX K20A3, it would be 3 lobes. So somebody was asking what's the difference between the A3 EP3 and the A3 RSX. Clearly the roller rockers are different because 2 lobe versus 3 lobe. Cams obviously are different, 2 lobe versus 3 lobe. The K20A3 RSX comes with the K20 style oil pump, where the A3 EP3 has the dual balance shaft oil pump, that big hunk of junk looking thingamabob. I believe the K20A3 RSX comes with the 50-degree VTC. I'm not entirely sure about the EP3. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know this for a sure fact, but that's just some of the differences between the RSX and EP3 K20A3. I don't know about the compression ratio, the piston spec, and things like that, if they are different as well too, but for the most part, what I mentioned, that's like the main stuff. Grab my spare valve cover just to toss it on here for right now, so that we don't go dropping stuff inside, you know, the cylinder head here, because that will be a whole nother world of a problem. So now let's go ahead and get this thing cleaned up. You don't have to go crazy with the cleaning because, I mean, it's not that bad, but at least clean the areas that we're going to be welding, which I believe is going to be on the front side here somewhere. Good old oven cleaner from Walmart. The blue can works as well. You don't want to leave this on for too long because it will start taking off the silver that's on the valve cover. I've done that before, so just going to give this a good old scrubbing and a quick rinsing. No diddy. I'm gonna give it one more shot to break up all the oil. All right, not too shabby, not too shabby. Now I'm only worried about the side that I'm welding, which is this side here. So I am gonna clean the inside a little bit more so there's no oil residuals while I'm welding. So right now we gotta figure out where our bungs are going to go. I do gotta take note that it has to be high enough to clear the fuel rail. So kind of close to the top line here, which I've also noticed on my old wagon valve cover. The bungs are pretty close to the top. All right, let's go ahead and start prepping. So we're going to be using 2-10 weld-on bungs. There are so many different styles of these, and I've used this before, but I do prefer the tapered style. This will still work perfectly fine, and the flange is not as big, so I got to be careful to not like melt this through. A little too big. God dang it. Are you coming to help me, buddy? Buddy. Okay. But we got the bungs all welded up onto the valve cover, and this thing turned out better than I expected. I was a little skeptical at first when I started the first dab, and I was like, man, the freaking -10 bung is not like melting into it. And then when I moved the arc over, it then melted, and I was able to run the beads, and surprisingly these beads are a lot smaller than typically how I weld the other style bung. But nonetheless, this thing is all welded up, ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna go ahead and whip out the RTV to get the corners all dabbed up so we can, you know what I'm saying, reinstall it back into the car. This is the last of my Honda bond. I'll go ahead and just cut a little corner so we can get some drizzle out of this. There we go. Right there. Right there in the back. All right, guys, let's get into the catch can. We have this kit right here provided by Max Heating Rods. $75 for this entire kit, and I'm going to show you guys what all it comes with. I can make my own catch can. I just don't have a filter, and after buying all the material, it's probably going to cost a little bit more than just buying this right here. And I've used this many and plenty of times before on the channel. For quick simplicity's sake, this kit is the best bang for your buck. Cut away from yourself, not toward yourself. Let's show you guys what's inside here. So we have the catch can itself, which is the cylinder style canister, and it is baffled, just so you guys know. Back then they didn't really come with anything inside of it, but it is baffled. It does come with the filter for the canister itself, which is this guy right here, right? We have dash 10 AN lines, a whole gang of them. If you guys look, I think this is about 10 feet. And then it comes with all the fittings you need to place the catch can wherever you need to. It comes with two 45s. It comes with two straights. And it comes with two 90-degree dash 10 fittings, all in black, guys. 75 bucks, you cannot beat it. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and just figure out where I want to run this catch can, find a way to mount it up, and then we'll build our lines. Gonna manipulate the mounting tab here a little bit. I'll show you guys why. So I bent the mounting tab a little bit right here to bolt it up to this factory like provision on the firewall, and I bent it to get the catch can to sit sort of straight. And I think this is a nice spot for the catch can because this thing is a little too tall to sit here. The filter sits pretty tall, and also on this end as well too. And plus there's a bunch of lines and everything already over here, so I didn't want to run two more that way to make it look all jam-packed. So back here, 245, it's gonna point it up over the shock tower, and then it's just going to curve around where we're going to have two 90s provided with the kit to connect the four fittings together. I think that'll work. Almost can't even see it back there. The wrap on the trunk is so doo-doo. Definitely gonna peel this off soon, and I'm debating on actually just spraying it the factory color or prep it again and wrap it carbon fiber. What do you guys think? That thing gotta go for sure. But I remember this car should have some black microfiber from the homie Stefan. Yep. There we go. Make sure you plug up the bottom of the catch can, just in case your can is catching oil. You're not just pissing it straight through the bottom, because then it defeats the purpose of a catch can. So the microfiber, I usually wrap the filter in case you have a crazy amount of blow-by or your engine is hurt or whatever the case may be. A lot of blow-by is gonna push oil to the catch can and eventually will bleed out of the filter and drizzle all over the place. Depending on where your catch can is at, you can slip oil under your tires, you can slip oil onto hot parts and create a fire. You don't want that. So typically what we do is we wrap the filter with microfiber just to kind of absorb, and hopefully you can catch it to either drain out your catch can or address your engine's health. So I'm just going to loop this twice, and then I'm going to cut it to length. I usually use a hair tie, but you can use a zip tie as well too. And there you go. Let's go ahead and put this on the catch can and then reinstall the catch can into the car so we can build our lines. I already built the first line, but I'm going to show you the second one, although I've done it plenty of times before. Maybe it's new to some of you viewers, but we're going to be installing the line on one side of the fitting first so we can get our length to the catch can. So let's just do the 90 right here. Simple enough. Take off the sleeve. The hoses already come clean cut with tape on it, so usually I just take off the tape. Some people are strong enough to shove the damn line into fitting with the tape on. That's insane to me, but I'm just gonna go ahead and peel off the tape here. You take the sleeve and you put it onto the hose, and then in some cases of, you know, brand of hoses, it's easy to slide the line into the fitting. Sometimes a little more force, but this one, if you just twist and push at the same time, it'll go all the way. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's all the way. So now typically I put some WD-40 on the threads, because when you put two aluminum together and you turn them, they tend to create a little more heat. Insert the fitting and start that thread before you start cranking it. Gotta ensure that it's threading together. It's gonna be easy for the first half, and then the back half is where you kind of need both the wrenches. So go ahead and use your wrenches here. So there's our AN fitting, and typically this gap is usually not butted up. There's always a tiny little gap in between, and let's go ahead and put this onto the valve cover and figure out our length. If you look at the AN line, it has muscle memory from being curled up in the box, and I usually try to curve the hose in the direction that we're going, right? And this is what I'm talking about. So if I go this way, it's going to be like a S shape, but if I do it this way, it's going to be, you know, a half moon. Get the other fitting, put it on the catch can. So now this is going to be based off your judgment. I always try to line them up together so that way they can be parallel, because slight OCD. I use electrical tape to mark where I'm going to cut, and also the electrical tape is going to keep the fabric from fraying after you cut it. So something like this, somewhere right there. Put some electrical tape, pull this back off. That's where we're gonna make our cut, and then we're gonna install this end onto the 45 and then get this catch can line fully installed. Once you guys finish building any AN lines, make sure you guys blow it through with either air hose or brake cleaner to ensure none of the you know, burrs from the cut is inside the line, especially if it's like an oil feed to the turbo, or, you know, the return back to the oil pan. But we have the max feeding rod, lines, fitting, catch can all installed. This thing is ready to rumble. As far as like the engine bay goes, guys, this is it. This is it. I just got to get the injectors put on when we get to the dyno, along with the spark plugs, and I think I got to adjust the fuel pressure just a little bit because it was about 42, 43, but now that we have a vacuum line on it, it reads at about 41. So definitely going to adjust that soon before we take the drive to the dyno, if we're going to the dyno. But as far as right now goes, that's that. So I just wanted to squeeze in the catch can today, guys, before I start prepping my blue all-wheel drive car for H-Day. As mentioned, I wanted to get this car like ready to rock and roll, so when we get back from track, which we're going to be spending 4 days out there in Bakersfield, when I come back, I just want to get this thing straight to the dyno. So shout out to the owner of the car, because he allowed me to like really take my time with it, and, you know, just kind of make sure everything's all good with it, and also allowing me to take it to the dyno, because I know he's been pretty busy as well too. So me taking it to the dyno would share the dyno day with you guys, and you know, I can deliver the car to him like fully ready to rock and roll. Max Pitting Rod catch can, $75 before tax. You can't beat it. Comes with the can itself that's baffle. It comes with the filter, with the clamp. It comes with 2 90s, 2 45s, and 2 straights, along with 10 feet of -10 hose. If you guys are interested in the same catch can we ran in today's video, be sure to check out the link in the description below, and also use discount code YStatic to save 10% off your order. And this applies to anything off the Max Pitting Rod website. What is... I'm tripping. This guy's over here on my freaking leg, and I'm like, who's touching my freaking leg? This guy has been staying very busy today with these little mouse toy, and I didn't have to address him all day other than just feeding him. This guy is probably here to stay. I'm not like, you know, fostering this cat. It literally just came out of Cuddy's, and I already went to the store and bought a whole gang of stuff for him right there. His own little potty thingamabob right there, and I guess another cat to the freaking fleet. But anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up for this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you guys did, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for the preparation of the all-wheel drive car before we drive it 4 hours to Bakersfield to race H Day, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.